I was having a conversation with my wife, actually earlier today, and we were talking about wicked games. The wicked games that women like to play. And the reason I want to talk about this is because there are a lot of women that fall victim to other women's wicked games. Everything is not just men being degenerate or men being men. A lot of stuff is birthed by the ideology of women. Here's one. A lot of women expect men to figure it out. A lot of women like to give men hints and clues, but they don't want to be direct. So they leave it to that man to what's understood ain't got to be spoken. He got to pick up on the signs. Well, you should know. You should have known. You should have known. I only know what you tell me. This becomes important in situations of a sexual nature. You got a lot of women that throw hints and do little stuff because they want a man to sexually advance on them or to be a certain way with them, but they don't want to say it because they don't want to be viewed as a way. So then if he does not pick up on the hints, then they get mad. And then it's more like an insult. Well, you should have known that I wanted to do this, or a real man would have done that. Now you insulting his manhood. You got a lot of women that think like that. They think that if I do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, E, F, G, that he's supposed to understand LMNOP. He's supposed to come to that conclusion, deductive reasoning. But here's the pitfall for a lot of men. When you start trying to read the signs and not let somebody be direct with you, when you read the signs wrong and you make a move, that's on you. Now you're a predator. Now you're a creep. Now you're a pervert. That's on you. These are the games that a lot of women play that we don't want to talk about because we pretend like it don't exist. I don't pretend like it don't exist. I've seen it. I've lived it. Been through it. This is why I tell women I don't do all that. The signs, like we do direct talk over here. What do you want? What is this gonna be? Let's draw a line right now. A lot of women like to muddy the waters. I've had women come on to me, touch me, rub on me. Then the conversation is, well, I'm not ready to have sex right now. Which is cool, but it's like in my mind, I'm thinking I don't want to do if our conversation or if none of this is going to lead to sex, I don't want to do none of that. You understand? To me, that's like playing sports and you go through all the practice all week and you go through the pregame warm-ups and then the coach come grab you and say, hey, you're not playing today. What you let me go through warm-ups for, man? You don't let me go out there and throw the ball around and shoot and all this other stuff. And you mean to tell me that now when the game's about to start, you're telling me I'm not playing? That's a bunch of bull. You should have told me that from the beginning. It's like working a whole shift and then your boss say you're fired. It's like, what? You should have told me that when I came in because now I feel stupid. That's the feeling that it gives you. It's like, man, you don't let me do all this and I respect your decision, but I don't like this game that you're playing. And a lot of women play that game. You got a lot of women that will go on dates with men that don't have good intentions. They know that they don't want to be with that man. They don't like him romantically. They want a free meal. You got women saying stuff like, I should be able to go on a trip with a man and not have sex. Let me tell you something. A lot of women want surrogate boyfriends. That's what they want. They want men that they can do all the teasing and go out to eat and hang out and cuddle and I'm gonna get up under you and all this other stuff, but I don't want to have sex with you. How is that fair to that man? You can't sleep at night, so you want this man to come over there and keep you company, like he your boyfriend, but you want him to draw the line right there. You got women that want men to come over and get into bed with them and sleep with them and make them comfortable because they need that security, whatever else, knowing that they don't want to have sex at any point in time. People can sit here and say that just because she does XYZ doesn't mean that she wants to have sex. Then what does it mean? Because you got a lot of women that do XYZ and it does mean they want to have sex and they expect you to pick up on the hints. And when you don't pick up on the hints, they look at you like, what's wrong with you? A real man would have done this. What's wrong with you? You couldn't tell that I wanted to have sex after I rubbed on your leg and sat in your lap and walked around the house half naked and told you to come get in the bed with me. I think it's obvious that I wanted to have sex. So you live between two existences, one with a lot of women like that, and then you got this other existence of women that, and it's a switch. This same woman can do these signs and symptoms one day and want to have sex, and then the next day she can do it and don't want to have sex. And you're supposed to differentiate between the two. You go kick it with her today and she does all this stuff and you don't make a move, then she say you should have read the room. I want to have sex. So in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I understand now. You go back over there, she going through the same little warm up. So you're like, okay, I'm ready to have sex now. Oh, I don't want to do it. Okay, why not? Because I just don't. I don't feel like, we should have to have sex just because it's like, okay, but why are we going through this? And the more women pretend that this doesn't happen, the more it's going to keep happening. We can sit here and bash men all day and put conversations on men, and there are conversations to be had for men. Let me make that clear. But if we don't address women, then we are only addressing one side of the issue. One side of the issue can never reach a whole solution. When you walk across the street as a kid, they tell you to do what? Look both ways. If you cross the street and only look one way, you're asking to be hit. Society keeps getting hit with a lot of the same problems because we only look in one way when we cross the street. We got to look both ways. You understand what I'm saying? There are two sides to a coin, heads and tails. Two sides to a dollar, the front and the back. Having a one-sided conversation is like going in a store with $100 bill and you say, I'm gonna spend the front side, but I'm not gonna spend the back side. What? No, either you spend the $100 bill or you don't. You can't put the heads of a quarter into a drink machine, but not the tails. It's a package deal. It all goes together. These conversations, I tell y'all, yin and yang, locked in, men and women, it's a cycle. We got to understand how both sides play roles in the cycle. There are far too many women out there that engage in that kind of bull and have that mentality. If you don't believe me, get outside of your own box and get on social media and listen to what a lot of these ignorant women are saying. The stuff that they like to do around men and the mentalities that they have that's toxic. And they give this toxic mentality to other men. Does that give that man a right to violate you or be a certain way with you? No. But what I will tell you is like, hey, once you become aware of the games that a lot of women play with dudes and expect those dudes to be a man, you might want to make sure you're not playing those games. You might want to make sure you're not giving those mixed signals or involving yourself in that type of activity. You might want to start making boundaries very clear and making your intentions very clear and stop using men if you're using men. It's point blank, period. Like I said, a lot of women, they want sexless boyfriends. Oh, we can go shopping together. And they use it as we're friends, we're platonic. It's a it's really just an area of shaded gray that's closer to black than white. So it's not really that great. They want you to pretty much be everything that a boyfriend is to them, except for the physical, like actually having sex. They want to walk around you dressed a certain way. They want to go. Let's go out for lunch. Hey, let's go out for dinner. We should be able to have. And I'm telling you, we should like as a man and a woman, we should be able to go out and have dinner together, and it don't be nothing. We should be able to take a trip together, and it don't be nothing. We should be able to sit on the sofa and watch a movie, and I should be able to lay on you, and it don't be nothing. Like we can do that as friends. Why can't I cuddle on my male friend? Why can't me and a friend or a guy just sleep in the bed, and it don't have to be anything sexual? I said, who you fooling? Like, you want a sucker? Me and my female friends, we had boundaries, baby. For one, we ain't going out of town together. All that platonic stuff, it stays in town. For two, they didn't come to my residence and I didn't go to their residence. We can hang out. All right, let's go hang out. You want to go to a bar or something like that? We didn't do date activity. We didn't go to the movies together. No, we didn't go to the movies together. We didn't go out to eat. If we went to a place to eat, we sitting at the bar. Now we not even finna sit at this table, right? Because women will get mad at men when men blur the lines with them and say, well, if you didn't want to be with me, why were you buying me stuff? Why were you treating me like this? Why were you doing all of this stuff? Why was you doing girlfriend activity if you didn't want me to be your girlfriend? Why was you being doing wife activity for me if you don't want me to be your wife. They get mad at you for blurring the lines. So is a man to turn around and say, hey, just because I did all that stuff don't mean you should expect that I'm gonna marry you. It doesn't mean that I wanted to be with you. Because then the thought process is, okay, well, if you just wanted sex, then why didn't you just say that? Okay, woman, if you just wanted free stuff from this man, or, you know, the benefits of a boyfriend without having sex whatsoever, just say that. A lot of women ain't gonna say that. They're just gonna, well, we should be able to do this as friends. And they keep pushing that line and pushing that line. And a lot of men become confused. And believe it or not, and men keep telling this, a lot of men are actually in it to have sex with you or waiting for that opportunity. Platonic to the level of no sexual attraction, that takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time. But here's how you know. You go on a trip with your so-called homeboy or invite him to your house. Offer to have sex with him. See what he does. Start coming on to him. If he stops you and say, hey, should we be doing this? We supposed to be friends. Like, I don't really see you like that. Whatever, whatever. Okay, he might be one. But if he no questions asked, just go straight into it, is come on. But you got to stop blurring the lines. When you blur the lines with so many men and expect them to be able to decipher your messages, they're going to take that information to other women. And I cannot sit here and say how they will or won't respond to it. I know how I'll respond to it. And I'm not saying that their responses are right or that they have the right to respond that way. What I'm saying is that you have done yourself no favors by playing that game. It's best to not play that game. You are gambling. It's best not to gamble. That's what I'm telling you. Start being honest people. Start having clear boundaries. Start having clear intentions. And stop trying to figure out how you can milk stuff out of men without giving them sex, because a lot of women do that. A lot of women do that. So if we're gonna have a conversation, we can have a conversation. But if we're not, we're not. If you want to be honest, let's be honest. But if you don't want to be honest, don't be honest. But it's a two-way street. And there are far too many women out there that like to play dangerous games. And when you play dangerous games with a man that has a dangerous mindset, and you might not even know it, it's going to turn into a dangerous situation. And I don't want you to be in a dangerous situation. So I'm not saying this to come down on you. I'm saying this because it's real life. It's real life. And real people are getting impacted. A lot of the stuff that you think is cute is not cute. A lot of the stuff that y'all want to do to tease men and make it so mystic, and they got to decipher and decode all these messages. Stop doing that crap. Be clear. We grown. Let's have clear communication. Women expect men to have clear communication with them, but they want to put everything in codes. Why? Because she does not want the responsibility of whatever decision is made. She don't want to bear the responsibility of that decision. So she's going to put all the signs out there, but she's going to let you make the decision. That way, if something goes wrong, she can say, well, it was you. Or if something happens and it's not enjoyable, she can say, well, that's not what I wanted. She gets to switch it up because she didn't make the decision. You did. She gets to play the psychological game where she can lead you down this road, but then if she changes her mind because you pissed her off or just because she likes to play those games, she can then go back at the last second and say, that wasn't my intention. Now, the whole time she's been playing this game, that was her intention. She get down to the last second and say, no, that wasn't my intention at all. I don't even know why you would assume that. I kicked it with a female one time. We supposed to been cool. Supposed to been cool. I said, okay, this is where my rule came up. I'll let her come to my house. We supposed to been cool. I let her come to my house. She come over there. We chilling, have a couple of drinks, just talking, watching TV. I say a couple of jokes, whatnot. She kind of rubbed my leg a little bit, and she rubbed my shoulder. I'm thinking, okay, she might be on to something different. So I kind of, I'm judging. She gets up, I'm playing music. She started dancing, and she's like, come on over here and dance with me. And I'm like, nah, I probably shouldn't do that. because she was doing like a little seductive dance, and she's like, I want to show you. And, she wanted to get up on me. And I said, no, I'm good. I'm cool because we cool. So, like, nah. So then she comes sit back down and she's making these little subtle advances. So I'm thinking, okay, what time is it? What we doing here? So I said something to her. I said, hey, we need to have a conversation. We started talking. Boom. That's when she starts talking about how, she's not ready to be in a sexually committed relationship or even have sex at the moment or whatever else. Cool. I respect that. But I said, look, we got to draw a line here because you coming over here with me and I'm not trying to be on a certain kind of time, but you rubbing on my leg, you rubbing on my shoulder, you want me to get up and dance with you and all this other stuff that involves a lot of physical contact. And I don't play those kind of games. Me and my friends, me and my female friends, we act like me and my male friends. There ain't no touching and none of that bull. We gonna kick it. We gonna be cool, but we ain't doing like we not blurring that line. I said you trying to blur the line. So she was chill. After that, I didn't invite her back to my crib no more. I said, hey, we can hang out anywhere except for at my house or your house. I said, because I don't even want to be in that situation. And that's what being grown is about. Learning how to just not put yourself in certain situations. That's it. It wasn't personal with her. But when she started blurring those lines and started, making me have to try to guess what was on her mind, and then I thought I guessed, and when I brought it to her attention, it's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I just wanted to have fun. But what kind of fun you want to have that involves you rubbing on my legs and grinding on me to music? Because women like to play that tease game. They like to, walk you, walk you, walk you, lead you, lead you, lead you. And you can only assume or hope, okay, is she leading this horse to water or is she leading this horse to sand? I don't know. I'm just going to follow. Dangerous game, ladies. Dangerous games. I'm teaching you how to protect yourself. I'm teaching you how to protect yourself. And I'm also teaching you how to be decent people and to stop playing with men because men are people. They have feelings, they have thoughts. Stop trying to make everything a guess what it is. So that's how we're going to protect you. I'm teaching you how to survive. I'm teaching you how to interact in situations, and I'm letting other women know that there are a lot of women out there that do you no favors by having certain existences with men and making them think either certain things are okay or that it is a man's job to try to guess what a woman's want in a certain situation when the signs seem to be there. Trust me, I have had a woman call me at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about she couldn't sleep. And we supposed to be just friends. Can you come over here? And no, that's like boyfriend type stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It's the principle of it, not because I think if I go over there that she wants to have sex. It's the principle of, hey, I'm only going over there with a woman I'm sexually involved with, period. Whether me and that woman have sex or not, at least I know it's an option. It's not even an option with you because we ain't had them kind of talks and we supposed to be just cool. I'm not doing that. You got to draw a line. So that's what I got. That's what it's going to be.
The truth does not require you to like nor accept it. It can be tough and uncomfortable, existing on its own merit, independent of your feelings and residing outside the frameworks of your mind. For some, the truth is freedom, and to others, confinement.